And for the uneducated, which I'm pretty much in that camp for the most part, when it comes to vape cartridges as being a delivery system for cannabis, how long has that been out there? How long have they been in the market?
For cannabis specifically, I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure people have been experimenting with it as long as electronic cigarettes have been out. Electronic cigarettes have a long history, but really they became popular in the U.S. Around 2006, 2007, and their popularity just kept going up and up and up. And there's been a lot of up and downs on the regulation side. But people discovered that you could put cannabis oil into these cartridges and it would vaporize correctly. So we started to see those. I started to see the first cannabis really brand that was pushing these pretty hard about 5 or 6 years ago when I was in Southern California in a company called Open.
I see.
And that was when it really came onto my radar, and I saw it, and I saw how people reacted to them, and I just kind of saw that was going to be a trend in the market. And since then, they have exploded in popularity. Markets like Colorado and Washington that have a pretty established cannabis market, you're seeing vape pens take over 15, sometimes up to 20% of these markets.
Wow. And is the application of your technology, is it specific to pens that are used for cannabis, or does it actually matter what the chemical or the product is that goes into the pen?
It doesn't matter what the product is. We know just based off our market research where our biggest audience is, and that's why we target to them. But no, it can fill any liquid. In fact, we've had requests for other sorts of liquid and, dispensing into like gummies and things like that, modifying the machine slightly.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So in terms of what I have heard in the news is about kind of the scare about the pens and the cartridges and really more about what is in the different kinds of things that could be young people, in fact, could be vaping. How does that affected kind of your outlook for the business, and what do you see that with that in mind, or setting that aside, what do you see as the future of the vape pen or the vape pen or the vape cartridge technology? Do you see that as something that'll be around for a while?
I do see it as a new and emerging technology. It still has its rough edges. We're still figuring out everything that comes along with these devices. They haven't been on the market for more than 20, 30 years. So it's hard to get long-term effects data. Just looking at it, from a layman's point of view, it's without making claims here, it's probably safer than inhaling burning product. There are some issues that have come up, especially recently, with contaminants and adulterants, and that is really on the supply side of the oil going into these. I have seen some reports recently. There's been no official studies or anything, but people are finding shoddy craftsmanship in some of the cartridges, and they're leaching metals into the fluid itself. Mm-hmm. So where I see all that driving is, from my point of view, consumers really like these products. They're discreet, they're easy to use, they're simple, they're very convenient for the consumer, they're a good delivery device. With the recent news, I have seen backing off from it. I do think over time, as it's been demonstrated that this is a safer alternative to inhaling, combustible material and smoke and everything else, I think the market will continue to appreciate and buy a lot of these products. I'm not going to try to speculate as to the exact size of that market right now, but I don't see it going away because consumers really like this product, and the development is inching forward every day. Just recently, I saw a company, and I'll even give them a shout out, Heliosphere Solutions. They have these completely glass cartridges. There's no metal in one side of it. They're really interesting, and so they're passing heavy metals testing. They're doing destructive testing, doing a lot more QA. Everything's becoming more well regulated, and as it becomes more regulated, consumer confidence in the product will be restored, and people start the market size will keep growing because it's been shown that people really like these devices.
I see. Yeah. Thank you.